question was emailed from J.D.A. for Professor Hoffman. In Western action hero movies, many happy endings usually consist of the make hero ending up with the woman. In Romeo Must Die and in a few other ones, with an Asian male protagonist, they do not kiss the girl at the end. Is this because in Asia they do not portray women as a prize to be won, or is it a form of emasculation? Or is it also more of a cultural difference?
Well, there's actually a name for this that the Asian American historian David Ng coined, and it's called racial castration. And this has been happening with representations of Asian and Asian American men in particular since the silent era. So even going back to a film like D.W. Griffith's Broken Blossoms, which is a romance between a 20-something-year-old Chinese man and a 13-year-old young girl. Kind of a shocking but wildly popular movie back in 1919. You have that same kind of dynamic. It's erotic, but ultimately the relationship is never sealed with a kiss, as it were. The film that's referenced in this question, Romeo Must Die, was kind of a big deal when it came out, I think in the late 90s. It starred Aaliyah and Jet Li and had a romantic kind of buddy plot, if you will, between the two, but they danced together and they hugged, but they never kiss. Similarly, there was a film with the Chinese star Chow Yun-fat and Mira Sorvino, a white American actress, The Replacement Killers in the 90s, where it was the same dynamic. So yeah, racial castration, where Asian and Asian American men are just not given the same kind of masculinity, or they ultimately don't really get the girl. As I was saying, this is tied to history. So it goes back to things like, the Chinese Exclusion Act in the 19-teens. But thinking about Hollywood history, the place to really look is the Motion Picture Production Code of 1934, which institutionalized these kinds of racist representational practices. So the production code was basically the censorship machinery that, it was set in stone in Hollywood for, at least until the mid-1950s. And one of the rules in the Motion Picture Production Code was no miscegenation. And miscegenation is code for racial mixing. So basically, if there was a film where you had a romantic relationship, specifically between a white woman and a man of color, that was the biggest concern, because this was the U.S., right, in 1934, when it was first instituted. You just couldn't show it. So
heavily censored.
Right. There's been a perseverance to that history, which we still really haven't seen it all that much change. I mean, you have an actor like John Cho, who's somewhat popular, but even the TV show Selfie that he was in, which was a romantic relationship between, a Korean American man and a white woman, it was canceled after a season.
Oh, wow.